Hello, this is All Action and All Results here. This is the three of us, Graham, Johnny, and Rudy, getting our businesses up and going and progressing in the areas that we feel we need to progress. So without further ado, we're going to get the meeting started. We're going to start with our less than 1 minute elevator speech on what we do. I will go ahead and start first. I am Rudy Martinez. I own Rudy's Health and Fitness in Signal Hill. I also train other trainers on proper bedside manner in regards to building rapport with their clients. I specialize in over 40. I specialize in the over 40 athlete and people who have general aches and pains, but need to get stronger for a better quality of life post post age 40. I guess I have to work on that. Johnny,
Hey, my name is Johnny Costa. I am founder and investing manager of Influx Capital Management. I am a champion for the small guy, and I bring advanced investing strategies to the smaller investor, and a newly inventor of a patent pending client advisor investing system that collaborates between the client and the advisor for investing ideas. And that's me.
Interesting. Graham.
My name is Graham Hendrey. I am the founder and director of Native Speakers Academy, which is a holistic language school based in beautiful Banska Bystrica in central Slovakia. Basically, the school does two things. We teach the English language and we offer life coaching skills. That's it. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Okay, let's move on. We're going to go to our aha moment, and we don't necessarily have to be an aha moment. It could be more of a just maybe taking stock in what we're doing, anything that's keeping you motivated, engaged, or enlightened on where your career is at and where your business is headed. So as far as my aha moment for the week, not necessarily any specific aha moment. I did really take to heart what both of you said last week during my hot seat discussion, that I should start working more from the inside out. I was trying to work from the outside as far as establishing a global presence and only having my business as a kind of flagship for me to wave my banner, say this is what I do every day, but this is who I am, this global entity, which I'm not yet. Well, I've reversed that, and now I'm trying to take what I do, my flagship business, my studio, and make that presence more global. If I make Rudy's Health and Fitness in Signal Hill more global, what I'm doing there, that will enhance a more respected, more proven reputation for me globally, because I won't feel like I'm starting from scratch. And I think that was what was kind of hindering me at the beginning. So it's been a really good week as far as all that. I'll go into that in my hot seat. But for me, it was really like that. That was the aha moment that I've taken all week. It's like, go ahead, improve the business that's making me money right now, but take it and make it global. Whereas I wasn't really looking at it that way before. Johnny, any aha moments or anything you
Yeah, I
feel
guess
like?
my only aha moment was kind of taking your guys' advice and chunking down my time. I did it a couple days, not every day, but when I was able to really focus and and close down, it was really helpful. And then also too, I did, as I showed you guys, got my provisional patent application in, and that was a huge relief to solidify my system to where it really um, it, uh, it really makes it real, and it protects it as well. So yeah, those are my two.
Fantastic. Graham.
Right, because I've had a less than productive sort of physical presence in my work this week, because I've spent the last 2 days trying to get over whatever virus is running through my system. Um, I've done a lot of thinking, and the result is that I've picked up a few pieces of information which I want to transfer into the work that I do. So I'm just going to I gotta read through what's been going around my head. It's not really aha directly yet related to my business, but it's aha as in things that I want to incorporate in the future. So you don't control what happens to you, you control how you respond. And in the response lies your victory. And so it's not so much what is important, what is happening around about you. It's important how you respond to what is happening around about you, and that'll make the difference between success and failure, which feeds into the situational opportunism that we talked about before. Um, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things which didn't make much sense to me, but made sense to everybody else because I'm still learning a lot of things about business, and I still feel like I'm on the outside track in terms of learning about business because I didn't start my business until I was over 30, and I didn't run my business really until I was about 35. So the don't sweat the small stuff didn't make much sense to me. I didn't really understand it, although it probably makes perfect sense to you guys. I wasn't sure what people were talking about it when they said the phrase before, because when you're in the English culture and people say things, you kind of automatically accept the fact that everybody understands what you're saying. And I never really understood this phrase, don't sweat the small stuff, until recently, that it's kind of don't worry about it. Would that be what that means? Is that would that be?
It's
It's all the little things shouldn't get in the way of larger benchmarks you should be going after.
Okay, so would I be right in saying that don't sweat the small stuff is like another way of saying my 5-year question, right? Is it going to matter in 5 years? It would be another way
yeah,
of
Yeah,
looking at
yeah, yeah,
the same
pretty
thing.
much.
Okay, because I heard somebody say don't sweat the small stuff because in the end it's all small stuff. And
A lot of it ends up being small stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and that made some sense to me finally. Um, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Um, there's a lot of emphasis being placed recently on getting to places first, being the first person to do things. And as important as that is, it's still the same as that the second mouse gets the cheese. You don't need to be first as long as you're consistent, I think. And so there are times when the last shall be first. And that's made some sense to me in the last week. Um, I was talking with some students on Monday about um, the difference between truth and lies. Now, there's a grammatical difference because of my work. We say the truth and a lie. Why do we say the truth and a lie? We say the truth because there's only one truth, and we say a lie because there are many lies. And so we were discussing that, and somebody said, well, sometimes the truth hurts people. And my response to that is it's not the truth that hurts. It's protecting people from the truth that hurts. The truth never hurts anybody. So it's best to go with that truth at each point in time, wherever you can. And the final thing that made sense to me this week was that one of the roots of the word communication is commune, which is a religious term, which means to exchange information on a spiritual level. And I think that that's the element of the higher level of communication. A lot of people, when they communicate on a very base level with no deep feeling or experience or detail there. But there's a need to communicate on a higher level, and that sense is to commune, to exchange things on a much higher level in terms of your experiences, your feelings, your knowledge, everything you've picked up, your wisdom in life. And these are things that I wish to channel into my work. So it's all slightly abstract, but there's a reason for that. There we go.
okay, very good.
That's
All
me
good
done.
stuff. All good stuff. All right. Let's move on. The next thing is any resources we might have come across this week. Again, I haven't really done anything other than work on uh, getting more clients. So all I did, I could say I took an ad espresso, and it's going live today, actually. I can look it up for you guys if we have time. I did a new ad espresso ad for my athletes, and instead of using uh, an image, I'm using a video this this time round. So the biggest thing for me is I am putting an ad up. I really, if I'm not putting one ad up, at least one per week in regards to certain demographics, or any specials that I'm running, at least once a week, I am not doing. Basically, I'm not breathing. I'm not doing something that's essential for my business. So I got the ad up like I said I would. It's a video ad because I wanted to try something new. So we'll see what kind of engagement. It's going to reach about over 6,500 people, women 40 to 65 who engage in recreational competitive sports. So and I will update you on that because my classes seem to be going well. The progress is there, so I'm running with what's working now and advertising that just to keep the momentum up for that. So as far as resources and everything, it's just kind of tweaking, doing the video ad this weekend, and just seeing what happens. So I'll have more to report on that later. So
How has how effective have the ads been so far?
not very, not very at all. I haven't gotten that much response, but that's the thing. I haven't been consistent, and that's what everybody on the Ryan Lee site says. It's like you have to be consistent. Like when you come up with one ad and
Why
maybe
do you have to be consistent?
because it doesn't people don't first of all people don't really take you seriously until the fourth, fifth, or sixth ad. Uh,
Okay.
Most of the people that I've talked to have said they don't get a lot of engagement until maybe the third month in. The people that are really good at it, who know how to segment their list really well and who know how to design their ads really well, they'll get more engagement the first the first month. But usually it's like the guy that does golf. He's like sample video on how to add 10 yards to your drive. Just add your email here. So he'll get people that want that real quick tip. And there's a lot of people that play golf. So that's what he's telling me. Is like just give people a quick tip on burning belly fat or something. And I still haven't like engaged at that level. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's my next step is to try and give a quick tip because those are the things that people usually engage in, and that's just something I haven't. Like I've done offers, like a free 1 week membership, things that people have to pursue rather than some piece of information that they can absorb, right away. So I have to develop that real quick tip and go from there. See if I can get more people that way because that's usually what engages people a lot easier. So
So, are you saying that people that it doesn't register in people's heads like the first 4 or 5 ads consciously?
yeah, it's like if it's not a real quick something free, then it's like, oh, okay, well, people drive by gyms every day and they don't walk in and join. So, you know, there's people who can walk to a gym, they won't join. So just seeing it online doesn't mean they're going to go ahead and join because they saw an ad. There has to be a real specific reason. And it's going to have to be because for me, they're seeing a lot of testimonials. They're seeing a lot of people that are saying, hey, this is the community we're in. These people are all working out. My back feels better. My tennis game is better. Something's going to be better, and it's going to start to resonate after a while. It's like all these people are doing well at this guy's place, so maybe I should call him. You know. But again, it's like the easiest way is like give me your email, and I'll give you 3 quick tips. One on burning belly fat, one on having more energy, and one on you know being able to lift your grandkids up, when you're 70. Just 3 quick tips. Like I have to do something like that so people I can get that first initial engagement before they even feel comfortable walking in or contacting me. Like they have to just see that somewhere. So Just getting them to my page is something that I'm going to have to work on. I have to just offer those quick tips. That's probably on my agenda for the next week, I guess I would say.
Okay, that makes sense. Eh,
Okay. Next, Johnny. Any other questions?
Oh, you mean resources or?
Yeah, resources.
I think the only thing I would state and is just that just going through this patent pending system. It's really amazing, and it's really amazing how the American government, usually they're really inefficient, but just for $65, uh, a person is able to protect their invention, and then the whole process of submitting that. I mean, it takes work to do it, but the process of actually submitting it, the application at the government site, I mean, they're really helpful and really easy. I was just really surprised. So yeah, that's my resource. And just it's just in doing the patent search too. It's just really surprising at the things that can be patented. Like in like any type of system of doing something better is actually a utility patent, and you don't need to know everything about it. All you need to know is how you think it might work, and then boom, and then you can protect your idea for $65, and you're good. So that's my
Cool.
Does
resource.
that work with things like teaching methods? How does that work?
Uh, it that's a good question. I don't know. Possibly because I know, for example, like there's a lot of, I mean, not most everyone ripped off Richard Bandler and NLP, so I would have to say that that something happened there that uh, I would say yes. I could probably like a weight loss system or working out system. Um, there's different criteria it has to meet. It has to meet different certain criterias, and they're a little vague too.
So,
But if you can get through those,
so could Rudy, for example, create a system of training that could be patented, for example?
I'd have to say yes.
Oh,
Probably, yeah.
that would be an interesting
Yeah,
future.
it yeah, absolutely, and it's called a utility patent. Utility is basically, and that's what the majority of patents are, utility patents, and so those are that's basically more of systems and methods.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's cool.
All right, Graham.
Um,
Any resources? New resources?
I have been struggling to come up with one. So I was looking around myself and seeing what's in my office, and I don't know if you can see behind me over there is a corner of a whiteboard, rather large whiteboard that's fixed to the wall over there. And
Yes.
there's a number of people whose videos that I've been checking out on the internet, and they've all got whiteboards, not just one, like two, three, four on the wall, and they're constantly writing on them their ideas and the thoughts that they have. And and I think that it's nice if you can have a place in your office where you can write up something, leave it there for a period of time, and sort of see if it resonates in the back of your mind. And then, when the time comes, um, whatever, you can take a picture of it and file it on your computer somewhere, or you can I don't know if you use Evernote or something. I guess you put it into your Evernote or whatever. But it's a nice way of getting ideas out, and it's a nice way of linking things together and thinking through things. Very often when I'm teaching with students, I don't know, obviously, I don't know what questions the students are going to ask before before the sessions. So when a student asks a question, I don't often have the answer at hand because, the English language, biggest language in the world, and there's a lot of different elements to it. So very often when a student asks me a question, what I have to do is work through to what the answer is to their question. And I do this on the board in front of the student. The student asks me something and I say, okay, let's start with this. Let's break it down. How is this constructed? Where does this come from? This comes from here and that comes from there. How do these words work together? And through the process on the board, I can work out something in front of the student, and the student can see then how the language is built up or breaks down. And so I think it's a good resource to have in your office, just something that you can write on, basically on the wall, and not and not type into a computer and not file away and not be stored under other pieces of paper, but be visible for other people to see when they can when they come into your office or whatever, because they can comment on it and say, oh, are you thinking about doing something with that? And yeah, what do you think about it? And it can be an element for discussion or whatever. Or I don't know if Rudy has something like that in his gym where maybe there's got, okay, training stuff for today. Maybe you can write up a few things on the board, or you can draw a few diagrams to help people with the exercises to show them how the body should move. Or I don't know. I don't know. It's just a resource that I've found extremely useful. Obviously, a school needs that, so it's always going to be in a school, but it doesn't have to be in a school. It could of course be anywhere. So that's my thought on that as a resource. And also, bigger businesses that I work with have these on the walls in their offices. The smaller businesses don't have them at all because they're like fuck you, you're an employee, you don't know any shit. How would anything you know be useful? But the big companies understand that the employees are the most valuable resource. They're the people who see and everything that's going on and and can provide insight and solutions to these things. So it is important. That's it. Thanks.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I would love to have a whiteboard. It just I don't know where I'd put it.
So right there behind you.
No,
You could just write on the.
yeah, believe me, there's plenty of space, but I
It's good. Good. It's
I,
good. Good for the kids as well.
all my territory has incursions from little girls and my wife, and I'm probably going to be relegated to the garage as most husbands are out here. I'm going to have my gym, my office, and my man cave out there eventually. I'm probably have my whiteboards out there too, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I'm curious because I have a client that actually works for Microsoft. Um, he he's very into art, whiteboards are archaic, books are archaic, everything's going to be digital. Uh, we should just start learning on that stuff. And then we have my old school clients, in my age group, where, well, a book is so much more enjoyable to read, and it's like because you grew up reading that. But if these kids grow up reading off a tablet, it's going to be as enjoyable to them, and they're going to be able to read 20 times more because they're going to have access to even more things. He has this argument, and I think it's valid on both points. I think our generation still benefits from a lot of whiteboard stuff, visual stuff like that, and I'm sure in the end, and I'm sure they already exist, where there's going to be more of an electronic styled whiteboard that mimics a whiteboard completely, but then it'll be digitally. It'll be recorded somehow, and it'll be a database, and it'll come off the wall and go back into your computer
You
somehow.
can.
So, but I
Sorry. You
yeah,
can get a small thing. I don't know what they call it. Dongle, maybe. I don't know. That you use a small little thing. You stick it into the bottom corner of your whiteboard, and it turns your whiteboard into a digital whiteboard. Yeah.
yeah,
It
they already have
projects.
those.
You've already got one of those. You know what it is. Yeah.
No, I said I'm just saying that I'm sure, yeah, they've already
Yeah, yeah,
developed that whole thing.
you can get one. You have a normal whiteboard, and you stick it on the whiteboard and turns your whiteboard into a computer, because it
Yeah,
projects the computer out over the surface of the whiteboard. Yeah, and they give you a
yeah,
digital pen, and so whatever's on your laptop you can then have on your whiteboard because it projects it. It doesn't project it onto it. It's actually stuck to the board and scans it out across the board. So that's old technology. No, that's been around for 4 years. Um,
yeah.
yeah, which is it's interesting. I haven't invested in it because I haven't felt a need to use it. But if somebody, say for example, you're doing something on a whiteboard and you wanna then get to a video of it to show somebody, you can just click it. You click it on, it projects the whatever's on your laptop onto the board, and you just click wherever you want and use it as a computer at that point in time. So um, the technology is quite interesting in that sense. Um, I wouldn't go for the classical digital whiteboard. I would go for, as I said, the old school one where you're
Yeah.
just writing on it.
No, I gotta say that. That's what I'm saying. I think our generation still, uh, visually and mechanically, I think would benefit greatly from having a whiteboard, just seeing visually. Like even my sales funnel, like I still visually have places where I know I'm getting stuck, and if I could look at the entire thing in front of me on a whiteboard rather than trying to look on a PDF or whatever, I think I would understand it more. It's like, okay, this is my product, this is my group, this is where I have to funnel, this is the mechanical process, and just having enough space to see the whole thing visually would be very, very productive for me. So yeah, Johnny,
Okay, so when will you do that?
I have to find a space. I guess it'll be in the garage.
When we, I mean, if you're saying this is the way to work, this is how you work best, yada yada. I mean, for you not to do it is like you chopping off an arm, and just for the heck of it, and just living with one arm.
I have to find the crop, and I have to assign how. When will I get this crop uh, planted? Uh, okay, I will. I will look into prices on whiteboards, and I will either have purchased one or know what my price range
Well, I don't
is
know if you even
by.
need one. I mean, you see this right here that I have on the wall. I mean, that's basically just sticky notes and ideas, and you
Yeah,
can just. I mean, that's all that is right there. I don't know if you
That
can see the
that's
other side is right
oh,
there is the same same
yeah.
thing.
similar
You know,
principle.
it's just instead of whiteboard, yeah, it's just sticky notes that stay there. You know.
You would
I like the sticky notes, 'cause then you can move them around. You don't have to erase.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
That's good. Hey, set
So yeah,
set set any
I just got
research
myself made myself an idea.
set, set any research tasks to your kids. How old are they? They're 12? No, how old are they? How old are your kids?
no, they're 10 and 7.
No, no, sorry, it won't work then. But by the time kids get
Oh.
to
Do not.
12,
I can't give them sticky notes to work with. There will be a sticky note costume or something would happen.
uh-huh.
You seem
You know
like his phone where they called everyone in town.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
I love your universe. I love observing it from a
Yeah,
distance.
you're right there, man. How old are your kids?
Mine, five and a
Yeah.
half, 3.5, and 1.5.
Oh yeah. In about 3 years, you're gonna have a lot of fun, man.
I'm already there. I'm already there. I haven't slept for
Yeah. There's no sleeping. Yeah.
for. Did
Exactly.
I say 5.5? I meant 6.5. I'm sorry. Did I say 5.5? It's just
Yeah. Yeah. It happens that quick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, great ages. Love it. I haven't slept for years, but I don't care. So
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Johnny, you got me. I'll be on it. I'll be on it. You are now the Jackie in the group. You just got to get on and get it done. Okay.
But sorry, would you put it? Would you do it at home or in your gym? Where would you put it? Where would be best place for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, for the sales funnel stuff, it would be here, and I do need to do it because that's what gums me up, and that's where I get stuck. It's like, well, what's next? And then, okay, well, I'm doing the Ad Espresso Facebook thing. That's really helped a lot, but like just last time, where did I get stuck? What was the place that I wasn't getting engagement, and I'm not seeing it broken down. Like I have that Meister task mind mapping stuff on my computer, and it's very well organized, and I like it a lot. But it's not something that I can just walk up to and just very quickly change and look at how I have to do it. So uh, and then as far as a whiteboard, now this is something that one of my friends told me, I don't know, maybe 2 decades ago. He's like, you are leaving so much money on the table. It's like you come up with a new routine for your, workout of the day, whatever you want to call it, every day. If you wrote down every workout that you did for the day, one, you could hire a staff. You don't even need to be there. They're going to have 1,000 workouts that you wrote down that you designed to give to the clients. Second, you could sell those. You know, you have a membership site where these are the 30 workouts I designed this month. Here you go. You've been leaving money on the table for decades, and he's right.
Are you dead? Heart attack. And that was 20
And that's
years
all
ago.
I, and that's all I have
20
to
years
do.
ago, you were leaving money on the table then?
Yeah.
That's like 40
all
years.
I He's like, all I needed was a whiteboard, like as I design it for the day, because I don't sit the day before. Like I ask, how are my people feeling? So my high performance people are the first people I see in the day at 5 a.m. So based on what my high performance people do, I'll set the workouts then, and then it gets watered down. It's like basically going from your sports car, your racing car, and then it gets watered down to your consumer car, into the middle and into the early evening. The workouts themselves. And all I have to do is just write down what I'm doing that day, and either record it somehow, take a picture of it, whatever. It's done. It's a new routine, and I know, you know.
It's
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
it's great. We're just watching Rudy grill himself. It's just
I'm hot seating myself. Johnny's fault. It's the truth, though. It really is.
so that's great because you've got something you need to work on. You've got a method that you can use to work on it, and you need to put a plan into place to take steps to do that over a period of time. It won't happen instantly, but over the next month you can look at getting that fixed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and one
The only saving grace. This is,
so
yeah.
one final point.
It's the only.
Whatever
Yeah.
whiteboard you get the biggest one that exists. That's the only thing I'll say.
Yes.
Get
That's what I've been told. Get the biggest
get
one.
the size matters.
I'm gonna say
They,
my own.
they, they, they they have they have nice ones at Costco, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I've seen them. I just walk past them.
You
Like
walk
like
by them 20 times.
like my advertising. I said my only saving grace is the workouts I did 10 years ago. See, there you
He's
go, right there. Why is it blank?
I get clean. Oh yeah, Graham's good.
okay.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
there you
nice.
go.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, awesome. Look at you. Damn.
Yeah.
Well done. The NSA.
Yeah, look, that's my timetable for the start of the year written out so all my students know, so all my students can see that I don't just have time just for them, that I'm doing other things,
Mm,
because everyone thinks I exist just for them, which is nice, but this is showing them visually that I don't
Yeah.
exist
yeah.
just for them. I have to take care of other people and other things at other times. And that was my start of the year, what I need to do in general and what I need to do personally that stays next to my
Wow.
desk. So the general things were ensure students get what they need, insist on writing homework, fix the 7-day rule for cancellations, lead by example, find time for feedback, post up supplementary content, provide extra value, and have high standards. And personal things were try subliminal messaging for personal development, have 1 hour of personal time every day, laminate and post information, start the day in the right way, blah, 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 blah. Take no bullshit, use a timer, listen to a podcast, so on. There we go. So,
Hey, good.
so just adding some extra things in there. But get the biggest one possible. I went into the shop and that's what I said. What's the biggest you've got? And they're like, well, the biggest we have in the shop. I don't care in the shop. What's the biggest that exists in the world? What can you order that's bigger than that? And oh, you can get something like, okay, just get that. Get the big one. I want the big one. There we go. Because I always feel that the sides of the page limit your thinking. So
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
so go big.
I guess that was kind of my hot seat. We kind of segued into things that have to be done. Things that have to be done. I like that as the title for the hot seat. Things that must be done.
Things that must be done.
So uh, I guess I'll continue to talk to give Graham a chance to save his voice. So yeah, as far as what I was supposed to do and what again like our what's been my biggest weakness this last week or my biggest fail. Um, I would say advertising still. It's not where it should be, and I was supposed to do three campaigns. One was for the gymnastic girls, but the Olympic trials were just this weekend, so nobody was going to come in to try out any kind of workout because they actually all went up to San Jose to go through the trials. So am I behind? Yes, I did do I did do one new um, image, promotional image for my gymnastic mom, so she could distribute it to the other moms. I haven't heard back yet, so I have to pursue that in a more regimented way. But at least I got the image up and I got it out. So I failed in getting that more fleshed out, I guess you could say. And then the new athletes that are coming in, the basketball league of ladies, went really well. They I had five new ladies come in on Saturday from the league. We did a boot camp for them, and uh, as of right now, four of them are signing on for sure. Probably two more tonight. I came up with a pay scale for them. So that's moving along, and I have their Facebook page up. I did a video with video highlights. That's up, and actually that's the video that I'm using for the video advertising that I'm putting on at Espresso for the Facebook ads. So the athlete journey, that group is doing well. It's paying off. It's all new money, and it's going to segue. What they've told me is like, you've just touched the surface. We're just the first. We're only the few that could make it this weekend. There's people talking about this, in our league during our games, during our practices. There was one lady who they said she was playing extremely well on Sunday. They're like, "Wow, you're really fast today," and she's like, "It's all about Rudy." you know. So all these women heard and he like stretched her out, did some stuff. She's a point guard, so she has to be fast. So she did really well. So this word of mouth is going to continue to grow, and I just have to make sure, especially with that demographic, I am on the ball with them. Because it's not just that league; they're all just basically citizens of Long Beach, and they just know everybody. You know, so it could really spread my reputation around the local area really well. So I definitely will keep on the ball with that. So that I did really well. The gymnastic girls, it's kind of a side project. That one's only for the summer, and we'll see if we get a few coming in. It would be fun because it's just I've known these moms and these girls for a long time, so it'd be fun to train them. The other one that I didn't even get close to was the teacher discount for the summer, and we're almost halfway through the summer. So I will plan to get on that one. Try and do something for that this weekend. And we still have 6 weeks left of summer, so I could do a 6 week program, which I think always works well with my type of studio, like a 6 week makeover. Like, what have you done this summer? Nothing. Well, get your button gear and get into shape before you have to get back to the classroom. So those are my three things that I really needed to get done. As far as my global thing, I just needed to get my Facebook group up, and I kept mulling over names of the group, And it doesn't really matter because even if I don't like the name, I can always change the name. I think if you're allowed one name change per group, or you can just start a new group and just migrate everybody over to the new group. So I just settled on what I usually call myself. I don't call myself Coach Rudy. I don't tell other people to call me Coach Rudy. But it just seems like a catch-all. Like for my clients, my athletes, uh, but also the trainers that I want to eventually be training. I will be coaching them in their training. So Coach Rudy seems to work on a lot of different levels. So I just named the group Coach Rudy, uh, and so that's done. And now it's just migrating people into it.
That's
So
great because that has a double meaning, right?
hmm
What is?
Coach Rudy.
Coach Rudy.
Yeah, because it could be Rudy is the coach, or it could be learning or teaching Rudy. This is great. I like that.
Yeah,
Works both
yeah,
ways. Coach Rudy
yeah.
could work either way.
Well, I like it because no, because I'm like I've told them like I'm not a natural athlete. I'm a fan of all these people and their wonderful skills, and I want to help them with their injuries and things. But you teach me, you tell me, what's going on with you and what you need to get better. So the interactivity of it is like what Graham is saying too. It's like it works that way, and that's something that I want to teach my other personal trainers as I hopefully get them, to start with. So we'll go from there. So as far as failing, I probably failed only 50% of what I failed the week before. I did do a lot more implementation, but marketing's always going to be, well, I shouldn't say always going to be, has been my weakest uh, thing to do. But I think I accomplished at least 50% of what I failed at doing last week. So I'm moving on, progressing. Any comments? Any questions?
Oh, I have one quick question, which is how many Facebook groups do you have?
I just started one.
Okay.
I have about I have about 10 pages.
Uh,
I have a business page for the gym, uh, one for tennis, one for basketball, all the different sports. I have one for youth sports in general that I use. That's the one I use. Strong in Victory is the one I use for my youth sports as a catch-all. The gym one as a catch-all. Now for the adults, the athlete journey one is going to be the catch-all for them. And I'm trying not to create too many different pages, but whenever I come across a new name, I just create the page so that I have dibs on that name, you know, kind of a copyright thing. It's like I came up with the name first because I created the page first. And I'll do that with domains as well. I'll go ahead and just buy the domain so that I have a right. If anybody disputes it, I have some proof that I actually uh, declared that I was going to use this for something.
Okay, so on your Facebook Lives, which I don't I'm not in a Facebook Live, so I haven't watched any of yours, so please excuse me. But instead, but I do see the original picture, and instead of maybe sitting there talking to the camera, what if you did a Facebook Live, you had a camera, you have your student there, and then you're demonstrating to someone the exercise she's doing, why is she doing it, how is it helping her, yada yada. So it's, instead of Facebook being a talking, which I think what you're doing, what if you Facebook Lived an actual demonstration, an actual thing?
That's the next step. That's one of the next steps because what I've been doing, the Facebook Lives and my workouts they're all about my workouts. Okay, it's like the ones that I do in my studio, I film and then I explain why I'm doing things the way I'm doing. And then when I'm down in San Clemente and I work out at the Crunch, I'm not going to try and set up my camera in a public gym. It's not not conducive to my training needs.
No, of course
But no,
not.
what
But
I'm
but
saying, what I'm
you have a
saying
set
is,
in time.
yeah. So instead of doing that, I just get in my car, and that's the ones that you see with my face. Like, okay, well, I worked out this, and this is my thing for the day. So those are just for my workouts. But what you're saying is, yeah, the next step is like, okay, let's do a Facebook Live demonstrating something, that's
Well,
going to
yeah,
the gym.
and what I'm going towards is if you're going to have a Facebook group, I would say give as much as you can to them. Give as much training so that they know maybe once, twice, 3 times a day. Um, you are demonstrating something. You're offering something that they will want to.
Yes.
You're giving them reason to keep coming back to your group.
Hold on 1 minute. Ellie, just call her from the hallway, okay? Just stand right there. Oh, one of the girls came in. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do on our old parent site for Fitness Thursdays, which someone else was very scared to do because we didn't have approval. And just so you guys know, and I can talk about this more off topic,
Did you get the free will yet?
I officially resigned from volunteering for Fitness Thursdays today because
Wow.
I didn't think it was accomplishing anything for the last 6 weeks.
What do you mean you didn't think?
So
You didn't actually accomplish anything.
yeah,
No,
exactly,
no actions, no
exactly.
results. Johnny called it weeks ago. Johnny called it weeks ago what it was.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, but that's what I want to do. I want to say, hey, okay, this is what we're doing today. This is why we're doing it, and it's live, and it's what Graham is starting to see. Like the engagement is so much higher for some reason live than not. So that's definitely the next step. The only problem I have sometimes is uh, Signal Hill in Long Beach should be called Signalless Hill because it's so hard for you. You walk 10 feet away from your Wi-Fi and it's just like it just dies, and I don't know why. Uh, they've taken all the natural gas resources out of Signal Hill. It's basically a hollow hill, so I don't know if there's some weirdness going on in the whole area, but it's hard to like walk around with your phone pretty much and say, okay, this is what we're doing because I'll lose signal. Like I've tried doing it actually a couple times and I've lost signal.
so,
So I can try and move or enhance a router or something to see if that works. But
or,
in the gym, I have to be a little vigilant with
or you
that.
could just change the name to No Signal Hill.
Yeah, basically people call it signalless hill. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Um,
but yeah.
I think what Johnny pointed out was just going back, taking a little step back. Johnny pointed out that doing some videos with students or with clients is a nice idea, so that people can see what the clients are like, and that the clients are happy with what's happening. One of my problems is finding clients who are not shy on camera, because a lot of the reasons why clients want a trainer, or they want a coach, or they want someone to help them, is because they don't feel confident, and so a lot of them are going to be reserved. Oh, and um, it took me a lot of persuasion um, to get my students on camera. So it's just the way it is.
Yeah, you add to that. I have women coming in their sweats, no makeup, the whole deal, and it's about their body image. So it's difficult. I have one woman who has done acting, and she's always been a good model. Like if you look back on my stuff, you see a lot of her, Stephanie. She's always been open to helping me out. And there's a few others that I know would help out too. So it's just finding time to do that and make sure that the signal is going to actually get to where it needs to go, so that it doesn't freeze like it's done in the past.
Wow. Hey, you're going to have so much the free time and free thought space now that you don't have to worry about
A lot less. Well, that's all I really expressed was just been a lot of volunteer time talking, and there's been little volunteer time engaging. And it's been 6 weeks of this, so I want to just because we have an accountability group. That's how it started. Like I would just like to stay in the fitness accountability group, but uh, I am stepping down from volunteering for Fitness Thursdays. So I haven't even checked what the ramifications have been. Rocking the group there, but we'll see. And the only thing I did, Graham will like this, even though we should be talking about other things. I definitely um, criticize the low engagement of the administration. I let it be known that it's ridiculous how little engagement they have because somebody was saying, well, if you want to do things that they don't like, that's going to have to be on you. And I'm like, we don't know what they like. They don't engage. I said, I don't know why you're saying that when they simply do not engage. And that's one of the other things. It's been low engagement from the student body and low engagement from the administration. So I'd rather step down and do, if I'm going to put volunteer hours into something, I'd rather it be for something more worthwhile. Boom. So,
Precisely.
anyway, let's not get on that. Okay, Johnny, let's move on. What was your weakness, main weakness or fail this week that you need to improve on?
I'm not sure. I might take a different route, but I think the biggest accomplishment I had was completing that patent pending, and I think and then since that, and I'm not sure just because of what's happened, in my personal life has had an effect on me, but I've kind of had a little bit of a loss of motivation or just kind of like after I think I finished it Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday afternoon, I think. And then it's kind of like I haven't done much with with the what's next. And so, I think I'm kind of posing a question is one thing maybe I'm having a difficulty in is maybe branding this because what the system is basically called it's a client advisor collaborative investing system. So when I present this to people, should I create a name for it that maybe a trademark name that this is what it is, or how do I now brand this thing that's and I think and maybe I'm getting hung up on the one word or maybe the three words that people will understand because what I'm looking to do is really to create a story on it, whether it being email, whether it being the my website that really explains all of it and a blog as well. But say if what would I call it? Say if I did want to do a Facebook um, campaign or even an email campaign. I mean, how do I start this or describe it to where people would understand. And I don't expect people to understand because I mean, a lot of things people invent, and maybe that's another way of looking. I know I'm kind of brainstorming here, but I mean, there's a lot of things that people invent, like even Facebook, for example. So in 2004, when it came out, or whatever year it was, it's like, okay, how did they explain this, or did they need to explain it? So I think my question to you guys, or question to myself, is I think if I could have some clarity on my branding, that would help me move this forward.
What is the company? What is the official name for what it is you want to do again? What is that?
Well, I don't have an official name, but it's basically what I explained to you, what we went over, and what I patented as that they want a name for it, so I just named it a client advisor collaborative investing system. That's basically what it's called. And then the um, the actual name, and they also want like a name of the patent, and that is a method and system for acquiring unique and genuine investing information from persons with an interest in the result. And that
That's a
basically
title?
explains it all. Well, yeah, I mean the one I gave you, yeah, it is a title. Because yeah,
You have
that
to
is my
give it an
title.
acronym or something.
Well, no,
Or
yeah.
you have to, because I mulled this over. Rudy's performance facility, this or that, and it's like it came back to what most people Rudy's Health and Fitness, because it's not just fitness. I deal with a lot of people's injuries and health issues. So that's my unique selling point is the health part, not just the fitness part. So I just kept going back to Rudy's Health and Fitness. Like no matter what I want, how more innovative or whatever, um, it went back to Rudy's Health and Fitness because that's what it is. And I didn't want to use my name for a while because I just wanted to promote the facility. But they're like, it's you, it's your expertise. It has to be your name. So Rudy's Health and Fitness. So with you, I think it really, if you're trying to get the small guy doesn't know what he wants yet or what it is that he needs yet. And I think the title has to explain that. And again, it's like I said, I'm the small guy, so it has to be non-threatening, not slick or anything new ventures or new or something like something that's going to take him to that next level of financial security. It has to describe something, some descriptive name that's not slick, not an abracadabra
Right.
either.
Mhm. And it has to just from regulations, it can't promise an investing result.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it can't be like insure retire, for example. It can't be anything like that.
yeah. I can't use weight loss guaranteed. I can't do that.
Right.
I can't guarantee any results of what I
Right. Or
do.
retire guaranteed.
Yeah.
Can
So what would you suggest would be my yes, Graham,
can you
yes.
use your name in it?
Uh, I I don't think I'd use my name. I could use my company name, Influx, and also and what I call it now to my clients is basically the it's the Armada strategy, and Armada means is it's like the Spanish Armada, like an army of ships. And so then that's really what it is. It's an army of people collaborating to frickin' between you and I to beat beat the ass of every investor out there.
That's a nice term.
I think I like influx. I like influx. I think maybe the tagline it might be more important than the name. You wanna especially for any kind of financial company, you want a strong name. Influx Capital, I think, really says it all. A new influx of capital. But then the
Yeah.
tagline should really describe who's it for or
Yeah, well,
how
and
something like
actually,
that.
the influx actually means an influx of ideas. That's why I used that.
Okay.
It was not more necessarily an influx of capital. It was more of an influx of ideas because I already had this idea when I started this.
I don't know. Influx system. I don't know. Influx method. Influx. I don't know. Go through a what's the
In
go through a thesaurus.
influx invest.
Yeah. This is a whole thing. This is going to be something you wake up in the middle of the night like that's it.
And then you wake up in the morning and you go, oh no, that's
Mm,
not it.
right. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. The key is I think you have the name. The tagline can change. Just don't let that stop you from moving forward because when I when I when I started to brand my name, like you need to get a banner, you need to get a poster, you need to get this. Well, I'm not sure what the name of my place is yet, and it's like it's still taking me. It took me a long time to have that Rudy's Health and Fitness on the back wall of my gym that you guys might have seen some of the highlights because it's like okay, well, that is my name.
Hmm.
That's the name of the place. I'm going to put it on the wall, and putting it on the wall changed people's attitude. I mean, it became much more confident that I wasn't a fly by night. Not that they really thought that, but it was like, this is a place, this is a facility, this has a sign on it. It wasn't just a industrial garage somewhere that had some weights in it. So uh, definitely something I think you need to mull over
Yeah.
for not too long. Just pick something and go forward. I think influx capital is really good. I think don't worry about the tagline at least for now, but start thinking of stuff.
Yeah, or ask clients what works for them. You know, be
Yeah,
open with the client.
because that's what it is with me. Yeah, because most people went back to Rudy's Health and Fitness prescribes. Like, well, what about Rudy's High Performance? No, Rudy's Health and Fitness. Okay. What about High Performance Signal Hill? No, Rudy's Health and Fitness. I mean, they basically told me what it should be. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, Rudy's Health.
Your clients will tell you what to do
Yeah.
if you listen to them carefully enough. Okay.
Okay, very
Okay,
good. Thank you.
Graham. Okay, yeah, let's change it from what was your biggest fail, which I know Johnny was like, okay, well, what was the biggest fail? What was the biggest accomplishment this week?
Uh, I can't do that because the biggest accomplishment is that I'm here, and that doesn't mean anything today. So I'm just going to run through what I've done because I've just spent the last 2 days in bed ill. Um, I'm the accomplishments this week are out the window because, or major things are out the window because this is a nothing week for me. It's a I don't know what do they call that, like a zero game or something where I'm not going to get anywhere this week, but I'm just going to keep things the same. Um, um, let's see. Friday last week I closed the school just to have a day off because of stress, and I had a family day with my family. There we go. That's not business, but there you go. You have to do that sometimes. Um, I did 20 more pages of my book. I'm getting there. There's 30 pages left. It's going to happen. It'll grind out. It might take another month, but I will get there. It's incredible how much of a grind it is. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's just like the simplest little thing. The simplest little thing. It's strange. It doesn't make much sense to me how something so simple can be so complex. Anyway, um, I put 4 videos up to YouTube, 2 from our last meeting, and 2 more uh, live sessions that I put on Facebook that I downloaded from Facebook and put up onto YouTube so I could archive them. Um, and the basic sessions were covered in the school this week. As I said, 2 days the school was closed, and I added 2 new parts to my Pinterest account where I'm collecting data based on parenting and relationships to help with the life coaching work that I'm doing with some students. And I'm still failing on little things. My newsletter wasn't done this week, but I'm happy that I'm here at this point. I'd like to do an advert as well for Werther's Original Sweets, which are the only reason that I can open my mouth and make any sound, because they're the only thing that that does anything at all for my throat. I've tried everything else that you can possibly get from a doctor, a homeopath, an aromatherapist, um, and the best thing comes from the local shop, and that's it. I'm going to take it because my voice is just gone. There we go.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we've done about an hour so
Wow.
far. So what we're doing this next week, I think Johnny talked some on what has to be done, and Graham just has to get better. So I think we can just conclude this meeting of all actions and all results. And I think we're moving forward. I think we're staying focused. I'm really happy Johnny got some of his crops dusted. He got that patent process going. Graham got some things recorded. He got some things. Yes.
Now that I've got the suite, I can say something, which is um, Rudy and I had a little chat about if we want to at some point stream something live. I'm at the moment happy with the format in the way it is, in the way that we're doing it, and I'm not against streaming something live, but just if other people could chime in very quickly about their thought about that just before we finish.
Well, like I said, I think Johnny.
What's the purpose of streaming live?
Well, for me, it's going to be part of my
Go
business.
ahead, Rudy.
So, if we're talking about, we will have different segments, and I want to just practice it, but know that I'm live practicing it, and it's going to go out, and being able to own that, just in the back of my head, knowing whatever I'm streaming going out live, I'm going to own that for eternity because
Oh no,
it's
that's
out there
fine.
in the universe.
But what's the purpose of streaming this group?
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm fine not streaming this. Like I told Graham, if he wants to do various subjects outside of, because this is, I still feel this is accountability. We're really talking about our businesses. I'd say about a third of it is talking about resources that are helping us with our businesses, but two-thirds of it is specifically our three businesses. So I think this should still stay separate. And if Graham wants to do something specifically about, you know, business subjects or whatever, it's like I call it a magazine type of thing where it's different subjects. We should go ahead and do that, but it should be a whole different thing that we're going to practice with. If Johnny, if you want to get involved in it, that's fine. But I know Graham wants to do it, and I kind of want to do it just to learn more technology, more of the ins and outs of just getting things streamed live or just things produced, or even having the lower third graphics up and just all the technical aspects of doing a lot of this stuff live so that we can master it as we go. So I would be more open to doing it on Tuesdays rather than Thursdays. Thursdays is our time to do our accountability here. Tuesday I can do it. My schedule is a little different for the summer. I'm actually working 6 days a week, but I'm not working all day. Like today, I have to go work the evening. I'm working Tuesday and Thursday nights, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday morning, early afternoon. So my schedule is a little different. I can stick with what we're doing here, probably the same time on Tuesday. So really, Graham, it's up to you. I think you are more into this. Johnny, I think you got other stuff going on. I mean, you're welcome to try some stuff out. I really feel like that's where your industry's headed too. Like if I knew, like where the hell is my consultant? Oh, well, Johnny's got his 5 minutes of financial freedom, every morning. It's like, okay, well, this man has control of all my retirement money. I want to know he's on his game. So if you have your 5 minutes of financial freedom on our on our secret Facebook page, because now there's secret Facebook pages, not just closed Facebook pages. They've added a new category. You know, I can go there and you can kind of say, hey, I took a look at the market, nothing's going crazy. I've found a couple of things I want to look into for a few people. I will let you guys know. Okay, Johnny's 5 minutes. That's my man right there. That's Johnny. I see that working for you really well as far as retention, especially for retention, and then just for you to get more comfortable just promoting, anything that you're going to do as far as your business, online. So uh, we can play around with this, but like I say for me, I would rather do it on a Tuesday than a Thursday. I'd rather just keep this as one segment that I'm setting time aside for on Thursdays.
If I can jump in, for me, I don't think there's any great benefit to this group in terms of the accountability that we're doing, but for me, again, it's about the future and using the technology and being prepared for the future. So those who those who know where everything is going and have the ability to use the technology have a slight advantage over others, and I think I need that in my business, and that's why I'd like to do it just as an experiment to see how I can use the technology to benefit my business. And so I don't want to change anything in what we're doing here because I think it all works very nicely together. And if it isn't broken, don't fix it. So let's just keep this as it is. And maybe at some point in time, that Rudy and I will set up, short live magazine where we, I don't know, quick fire put out a live video and discuss a topic or something, and we just, hash out 20 minutes on a topic and put it out live and see what kind of feedback comes from that and see what we can add to it and take away and see what Rudy can do with the technology at his end, see what I can do with the technology at my end, and just, have it as a little side project and see how far it goes and see what feeds into it.
That's what I, yeah, that's what I see. There's a guy, I think I either subscribed to him or he just happened to start being on my feed. Is some digital marketer, and at least a couple of times a month he's on live talking about live streaming and different aspects. But you can tell that he's experimenting with the whole the technology as well. So he's not promising the moon when he's on. I think he's giving whatever tips that he thinks are valuable. But I think along the way he's learning as he's going by doing this Facebook feed as well. So
Yeah, and I think whatever we.
anyway, well let's conclude the 60 minutes of success, and I have about 10 minutes I can stay on to talk about various other subjects.
Okay,
But this is us signing out. 60 minutes of success. We will see you next week.
thank you very much, guys. Dude, it done.